Giselle is back for an Enchanted sequel that's overflowing with deep-cut Disney Easter eggs, magical references and in-jokes. Yippee-ki-yay movie lovers, I'm Jan, and I've been rewatching and pausing Disenchanted to uncover all the incredible little details you might have missed. Disenchanted begins with a soaring view through animated Andalasia, where we get a nod to Sleeping Beauty's royalty, and we get the first of many Beauty and the Beast references, with a girl reading a book by a fountain surrounded by a flock of sheep. Meanwhile, the firefly that lights up Pip's home is a nod to Firefly Ray, who sang Ma Belle Evangeline in The Princess and the Frog. As soon as Giselle casts the spell that turns Monroeville into the fairy tale land of Monroeville, the Disney Easter eggs flow thick and fast. So when Giselle's kitchen cutlery, utensils and appliances come to life and begin to sing, it's a homage to the iconic Be Our Guest. The broom that comes to life with yellow bristle legs is a tribute to the magical broom Mickey brought to life in Fantasia. And I love the funny little detail of how the broom is simply sweeping dust under the rug rather than cleaning it away. A metaphor perhaps for how Giselle is trying to sweep away her own problems with her magic wishing wand rather than dealing with them. When Pip discovers he can talk in the live-action world.
Wait, how am I talking?
It's a little joke about the original Enchanted, where he could only squeak in New York and had to act out what he wanted to say. And when he exclaims,
"Jumpin' jelly sticks, we got magic!"
that's a reference to Sebastian's surprised remark in The Little Mermaid when Ariel comes across a ship.
Jumping jellyfish!
Giselle's three gardeners are transformed into a trio of fairies as a hat tip to Aurora's three fairy godmothers, and when wicked stepmother Giselle orders them to look after her baby Sophia,
"You three, you look like you're good with children. My precious darling needs tending to."
It's a spin on Sleeping Beauty, where the three fairies raised baby Aurora as they tried to protect her from Maleficent's curse. And Malvina Monroe's fairy tale villain has strong vibes of the evil queen from Snow White, from her black costume to her spiky crown, and of course she even has her own magic mirror, which is almost a replica of the original from 1937. Morgan's fairy tale bedroom is located in the tower and has boarded up windows, which is a reference to the prison-like tower where Mother Gothel kept Rapunzel hidden away. It also has an extra staircase, similar to one at Rapunzel's. And there's a spinning wheel with a spindle like the one that cursed Aurora in Sleeping Beauty and which Rapunzel also had. Morgan later escapes from the tower using bed sheets in a riff on how Rapunzel leaves her tower. The painted walls of Morgan's original room are also a nod to how Rapunzel painted her walls. And when Giselle locks Morgan inside her room, it's a nod to how Lady Tremaine locks Cinderella away in the attic. And when Giselle forbids Morgan from going to the festival because she has too many chores.
What about the carpets in the hall? And the windows, I can't see a thing. There's the gardening and the sewing and the mending. And don't forget about the chimneys. Filthy business.
The list of things she gives her to do is almost identical to the one Lady Tremaine gives to Cinderella.
There's the large carpet and the windows. And don't forget the garden, clean the chimneys. And of course there's the mending and the sewing and the laundry.
There's another tribute to Cinderella when Giselle's wish transforms Pip into a cat.
Stepmothers don't have cute chipmunks as friends, they have
Cats! And evil ones!
This is a send-up of Disney's wicked feline trope, and specifically Lucifer, Lady Tremaine's malevolent pussycat. By the way, I think the animators got Pip's cat mannerisms down perfectly, from his fascination with the magic scroll's tassels to how he hilariously tries to squeeze into an impossibly small box.
You know, that's not a litter box. That's where I live.
When Scroll reveals that at midnight Giselle's spell will become permanent, it's a twist on the plot of Cinderella where, instead, the fairy godmother's magic disappears on the stroke of midnight.
It's pretty on the nose, but it's a classic.
The three mean girls who make fun of Morgan in Monroeville are a riff on the three girls who disliked Belle in both the animated and live-action Beauty and the Beast movies. Later on, they also fawn over Tyler, similar to how the trio were obsessed with Gaston. And as Morgan begins her song Perfect, the melody has a real ring to it of Belle, the opening song from Beauty and the Beast. And like Belle, this is also Morgan's big I Want song. And the splash of water behind Morgan as she perches on the boxes of fruit is a nod to the wave crashing on the rocks behind Ariel at the end of her I Want song, Part of Your World. During the villain song Badder, we get a peek inside Malvina's cabinet of evil objects that she plans to use against Giselle. Among the villainous paraphernalia is Maleficent's cursed spinning wheel, the Enchantress's enchanted rose, the Wicked Queen's poisoned apple, a drink-me potion bottle like the one that shrunk Alice in Wonderland, and this hourglass might be a reference to the one in which Jafar trapped Jasmine. And there are lots of great Disney Easter eggs among the names of Monroeville's stores. You'll be able to spot Beauty in the Book, painting on the wall, a magic mirror reference, and a grocer's called A Whole Food World, a pun on Jasmine and Aladdin's duet, A Whole New World. As Giselle's song continues, we can see Smee's cheese, and Le Chapeau Magique is French for magic hat, a fun tribute to the sorcerer's hat from Fantasia. Over here is Fée Marraine, the French name for the fairy godmother in Cinderella. And there's another Cinders reference with the Bibbidi Bobbidi Butchers. And there's a Mary Poppins shout out with Mary Popover's Bakery. And when Giselle goes in search of her missing wand, you can see Maid Marian's Dairy and Lumiere's Candleworks. Appropriately enough, during Morgan's Perfect song, you can see a practically perfect pottery. When Morgan activates Giselle's memory tree in Andalasia, she touches it, and as it lights up, it transports her and Nancy up to Monroeville, and the golden lights then fly into Morgan's room, where they reactivate her own memory tree, something that Giselle foreshadowed at the start of the movie.
This isn't anything a little glitter couldn't fix.
The song Love Power that Nancy sings has some really strong Frozen vibes, with the swirling magical memories and lights reminding me a lot of Elsa's song Into the Unknown. Idina Menzel is, of course, the voice of Elsa in the Frozen movies, and lines like Let It Grow and Let It Glow in Nancy's big power ballad are a winky reference to Let It Go. During the song, Morgan's torn-up dress transforms into a beautiful new one, which is Disenchanted's take on the fairy godmother's transformation of Cinderella's rags into a ball gown. The dresses that Malvina's sidekicks Ruby and Rosaline wore for the night of the festival are very similar to the ones Cinderella's nasty stepsisters wore to the ball. Director Adam Shankman has said that Malvina's minions are a sort of echo of the stepsisters from Cinderella. When Giselle and Morgan go dress shopping for the festival, pause the scene here and you can spot this film's take on the enchanted rose from Beauty and the Beast, together with a nod to Belle's iconic yellow ballroom dress from that movie. Also on the right is a giant red apple, a reference to the evil queen's poisoned apple. And the costume next to it has shades of Snow White's outfit. The colours don't match exactly, but there's a yellow skirt, the top is a similar style to the original, and the red shawl feels like a nod to the inside of Snow White's cape. As for Morgan's blue dress, that's a shout out to Cinderella's ballroom dress. And the way wicked stepmother Giselle cuts up Morgan's dress so she can't go to the festival is a hat tip to how Cinderella's stepsisters destroyed the ballroom dress she made for herself in the animated movie.
It's torn to shreds. Why, it's hardly fit for a maid.
Plus, Giselle calling her stepdaughter a maid is another Cinderella reference. And when Giselle realises what she's turning into, she demonstrates a pose for Pip, which I think has a vibe of Disney's OG wicked stepmother, the Evil Queen.
Oh, actually, yeah, I can totally see it.
As the movie reaches its climax, vines from Andalasia begin to take over Monroeville, covering every building in sight, which echoes how at the end of Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent grew a forest of thorny vines over the castle to try and stop Prince Philip from reaching Aurora. And in fact, both Robert and Tyler cut their way through the vines, similar to how the prince does in Sleeping Beauty. And to match how the vines were taking over in the grand finale, Giselle's luxurious ball gown was designed to give the effect that leaves and vines were growing out of it, so it reflects the final stage of her evil metamorphosis. Although Giselle is broken out of her curse through the memory tree, Malvina captures Morgan and gives her a sleeping potion, sending her into a deep slumber like Aurora in Sleeping Beauty. Morgan is freed when Giselle gives up the magic wand. However, she proves she's a true daughter of Giselle and Andalasia when she takes the broken wand and says,
I wish I was home with my mom.
Which breaks the curse, and she then wakes up at home in her own bed. All of which is a shout out to the Wizard of Oz and how Dorothy wished herself home at the end of that movie, leaving the fantasy land of Oz behind and finding herself back at home in her bed in the real world. After the curse is lifted, Giselle's dress is a clamshell buckle, a nice call out to the Little Mermaid and Ariel, another Disney princess who was a big inspiration for Giselle's character. An interesting little detail which connects the magic of Andalasia and Monroeville throughout the movie is the purple and white flower at the top of the Andalasian wishing wand, known as the Purple Ballerina, and it appears in the opening scene where Pip is reading the story of the movie. Later, Morgan walks through a clearing in the Monroeville woods that is full of them, and they also hang from the enchanted wishing well. The flower foreshadows how Monroeville will pull the magic out of Andalasia by the end of the film. Although Robert's daughter Morgan was recast in the sequel, the actress Rachel Covey from the original movie does have a small but sweet cameo as a Monroeville girl who reminds Giselle about the festival later that day.
What's tonight?
The festival, milady?
And there's another cool cameo at the start of the film in New York City with one of the movers.
All right, next stop, Monroeville.
That's actor Matt Servito from Enchanted, who played one of the workers in Times Square who were repeatedly surprised by visitors from Andalasia arriving through the manhole. So what did you think of Disenchanted, and did you notice any other Easter eggs? Let me know in the comments below. If you love Disney movies, tap here for another video just like this. And if you enjoyed this video, do leave a thumbs up, I really appreciate it. Thanks for enjoying this movie with me, and hope you have a marvellous movie loving week. Yippee-ki-yay, movie lovers!